Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you had a great Easter/Resurrection celebration. We were able to go up to Michigan. I've seen my parents a couple times this year with little baby nephew. We talked about in Florida, helping drive them down and so forth, but we were really looking forward to just being able to spend some time with them. My parents are really special people. They're dear to our hearts, and so anyway, we were very happy to get to go do that. So we want to talk about that today. The weekend before that, we ended up going down to Florida to meet our new baby nephew, who's adorable. But since it was Easter this past weekend, we're switching it around a little bit. We're going to talk about that on our next episode. So stay tuned for that. We're looking forward to sharing that with you guys. As far as heading up to Michigan, we drove up there, and it's always fun going back to a farm. I know you have your Papa Bill and Mama Jane's, but my parents also technically have a farm. It's just a one cow farm, but still a farm nonetheless. They have chickens too.
Hey, chick. Whoa.
It's almost like a getaway, where it's, a country setting. Life is can be a little slower. I mean, Mom and Dad keep really busy.
I feel like it's slower in the sense of you're doing things together. It's not as busy if everybody has something going, but even if there's projects, you're
That's a
doing
good way to say it.
together.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a lot of surprises in store. Usually when we go up to Michigan, I like to help my dad with a project. Dad is always working on something.
Your dad is a hard worker.
He is. He's always outside doing something, whether that be taking care of the animals or doing some kind of landscaping or working on the garden, something.
And there's always something to do on a farm.
There is. Dad had a big pile of wood chips he was wanting to get on the garden while we were there. He said it'd be great to have help with that. So
it's a big job.
It is a big job.
It would be really big for one person.
Yeah, very, very much. And so got to ride the tractor and haul several loads of wood chips down the hill. I don't get a tractor ride around here very often. So a fun, unique experience in that sense. It was nice to catch up with Dad a little bit while we're out there working. Him and Dakota, their dog, is usually not very far away, and she loves Dad. All the animals, ever since I was little, Dad always just was very good with the animals, and they all love him. I mean, even
people love your dad, animals love your dad. I don't think he's ever had an enemy. he's so likable and so kind.
He is. Dad is great. But even the cow, I mean, he was sitting there and we were talking. The cow was close by and he just started petting the cow, and it was like the cow was really enjoying it. I mean, just all the animals love Dad. While we were working outside, though, Mom was full-fledged at it inside the house getting ready for Easter.
Watching her get ready for Easter was kind of like being in a bakery, because she had so many of this type and this type and this type, and it was just so fun. And I was taking pictures and sending them out and Marco Poloing Mama Jane and just telling her about what was happening, because it was just a huge spread, and I think she thought of everybody's favorites. It was just fun watching that all come together and get decorated, and just the preparation for Easter Sunday.
Yeah, with Mom, she's a very creative person, and she was doing cupcakes unlike anything I had seen her do before. These super cute designs. I mean, it was like little bird nests and little, bunny ears. And
I think that one was my favorite. She had these little eggs that she had eyes and a little beak on, and then toasted coconut for a nest right on top of a cupcake, and it just looked like little bitty chicks inside there. It was adorable.
Yeah, this was
beautiful.
This was amazing. One thing she did make, though, that I was very happy about, because a year ago,
this last year.
Yeah, a year ago on Easter, I told Michael, I was like, oh man, I just really feel like my mom's coconut bunny cake. She would always make this cake that looks like a bunny, and cover it in coconut, and have two little paper ears on it and jelly beans for eyes or something. But anyway, last year I was just really like, oh man, that just sounds so good right now. But
I have no clue how to make it, so I watched this time.
And anyway, it's not something where I have the frequent craving or anything. I was just really mindful last year. And we got there this year and Mom was making it again. I was like, oh yeah, yes, we definitely have to have this.
Special childhood memory.
Yes, it was. It's one of those things you kind of feel guilty eating it. It just looks so nice.
Too pretty to mess up.
Yeah. While we were outside doing these outside things, well, actually this happened while we were working on the garden. I was getting, pitchfork full, scoops of the wood chips, to haul down for Dad down to his garden. And all of a sudden, okay, before I tell you what's going to happen next, I'm going to share the end of the story before the start. The end of the story is the mother came back. So just remember, the mother came back.
You don't have to be on edge like we were for the next 24 hours.
Right. Because what I found was, as I was scooping through this, I lifted one scoop off, and there were these baby bunny rabbits right there. They had a nest in the wood chip pile that we had no idea.
I was inside with his mom. She was making cupcakes, and he came running inside. He's like, "There's baby bunnies."
Yeah, so I was like, I wanted to grab a picture of them before they scampered back into their little den there. And so I grabbed my phone, but when I come back out, instead of them like staying in, obviously I had aggravated their home, and the babies were starting to run away.
They're just going everywhere.
Now they were small, little. They were that young where their eyes were like really squinty, and so I don't even know if they could see where they were going. They just started going away.
Scared.
And so, obviously, when you come across a wild animal, what's the first rule you hear? Don't touch it.
Yes.
Don't touch it, because the mom won't come back. That's what I always heard growing up. It's just like, if you come across, a baby animal, you don't want to put your hands on it. Well, they're running away.
One was headed to the chicken pen, and then the Dakota was out. So there's the dog and the chicken.
Seriously, it's like, these are going to die if we leave them. So we went after them and caught these babies. It's like, we shouldn't be holding these, but they're really cute. Quick, get a picture before you get them back.
The mother wasn't there with them, and at that point, I had not researched to find out. So I was wondering if they were abandoned or if she had left.
Thankfully, Michael did some research, and she's like, what do you do when you find baby bunnies?
Well, with Dad being in the tree business, he's uncovered a lot of homes accidentally. You tear it down, there's little squirrels, there's snakes, and so you do what you can to get them back to their natural habitat. But I didn't know about rabbits. So basically, it said online, make a nest as close to home as you can get it, and then put them back the way you found them and hope that mother comes for them. Yeah, put them all back in, and then watched and watched. I was so
She was invested in this bunny family. Oh, man. Watching her watch them, I mean, she was...
Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. And I know they're going to grow up and eat his parents' garden, but they were so cute and little and...
No, but this part's amazing. Okay, so it's like, I don't know if these little bunnies are going to make it, but we did what the internet said, made a nest.
That's we can do.
Michael's there looking out the window, waiting.
I just wanted them to be okay so bad, and I kept peeping.
And then a rabbit comes back, and I was just like, is that the mom?
I went outside. I can't remember what I went outside to do. And Brandon was going to join me, and I saw it sitting on top of the wood pile. I'm like, go back inside. And we went to the living room to start watching.
Retreat, close the door quietly. So this rabbit is sniffing around the wood chip pile. And we're like, it's like, oh, it's getting closer. I don't know if it sounds funny to hear this, but it's just like, I was watching, and I started praying. I know you were praying.
I was already praying. God cares for the sparrows, and he takes care of the lilies, so...
Like, God, would you help this mom rabbit find her babies? It's just like, would you help her do that? Michael took another break to check out. She's like, she's at the hole on top of the pile. She had found the hole, and she was nursing the babies.
I was zooming in on my camera so that I could see, and you could see the babies' little heads, and she was feeding them. And then
she's actually feeding
she
them.
Stayed there for 10, 15 minutes that we saw her. And then she dug in their hole a little bit.
She hit them.
Covered them up well, and then left.
Yeah.
And then...
It was gone.
Yeah.
So
it was so cool to watch her look for them and then take care of them and feel like they were going to be okay. And
right. I felt like that was a direct answer to prayer. The mom came back, and...
It was so relieving.
Dad said he had mixed feelings about it. He's like, I don't know how I feel about this. I want the mom to come back, but I know those rabbits are going to get in my garden this summer.
That was great. Special.
So those were some adventures that happened while we were there on the farm. Again, we were there for Easter, and Mom was putting a lot of preparation going into it, and we were able to go with them to the Good Friday service there on Friday evening. And do you want to talk about my aunts?
Oh, I feel like Brandon's aunts they are so dear. But over the past year,
very energy giving.
They're like his dad. They love everybody. And over the past year, I've gotten really close with them. And they send text, and they they keep us up to date with what's going on, and they ask for prayer requests, and we share prayer requests. And I look forward every visit to getting to see them.
My aunt, she had something very special she wanted to give Michael. And when you opened it,
it was amazing. She hand makes beaded jewelry, and it's not like big beads. They're like little teeny tiny beads, and I honestly don't know how she does it, but they just sparkle. And blue's my favorite color, and she had found out from Brandon, I guess, to surprise me, and it was just a really sweet Easter gift. And then I got to wear my jewelry for Easter, just beautiful earrings, and then a blue necklace and a gorgeous bracelet, and I don't know how many hours she spent making it, but it's just a treasure.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more special knowing all, the love and care that went into making this. So anyway, Aunt Julie, if you hear this,
thank you. It was a very meaningful trip, being able to go to the Good Friday service, and then Brandon got a lot of time with his dad doing projects, and I got to spend time with his mom while she was cooking. So just taking time and actually catching up felt very refreshing.
We're really grateful for this opportunity, especially after a couple of years of not having been there for Easter. It was nice to be able to do that again. So we went to Easter Sunday service with my parents, and that was really good. Got back, Mom had prepared an amazing, delicious meal.
And beautiful, might I add.
Yes.
Just gorgeous.
They made it a really, really special time. It's a holiday. It's great to spend time with family, which we very much enjoyed. But it's to celebrate something deeper than just family gathering. We've been given something apart from Christ. I'm a sinner. I do wrong. That's who I am apart from him. And that sinner in me isn't going to get to go to heaven. Sin's not permitted there. And that's what I have. I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. Who wants to admit to be right? Right. Who wants to admit that they're wrong? There's so much that God wants to give me everything in Jesus Christ, but I have to admit that I'm wrong first, and that I am a sinner, and now I need help. It's just like, God, what do I do now? I'm wrong, and I've just admitted I'm wrong. What do I do now? My wrong can't live with you. My wrong can't go to heaven with you. And then he says, I sent Jesus for that. The wages of sin is death. That's the penalty. But the gift of God is eternal life. Your sin is going to cause death for you. But I'm going to give you a gift. And that gift is life. And how do I get that? Just like, admit you're a sinner. You are in need of saving. You are bound for destruction. You need to be saved. And Jesus came to save me from that destruction. How do I experience that salvation? You have to confess with your mouth and believe in your heart. Confess that Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart. God raised him from the dead. That's what Easter's all about. That's what Resurrection Sunday is all about. God raised him from the dead. Believing in our heart that happened. God gives us his salvation. Call to him. Ask him to save you, and believe what he did and the gift he sent. And he freely offers it to all who will take it.
To go back to that day when I realized I need Jesus. I grew up in a Christian home with parents who loved me, but that acknowledgement of I need Jesus to take care of my sin problem, and then the freedom. It was so good to reflect, to think, to express gratitude.
God loved us and everyone else in the world so much. He gave the best that he had, his son, so that we could be saved and have life too. And that's what this time of year is all about, And so we were grateful for that. So that was some stuff that happened this past weekend for us. We had a full, fun weekend with family, but also a good, healthy reminder and a blessed one of the significance of the day. So we hope you enjoyed your weekend as well, just reflecting on all that it means and represents. And we appreciate you taking this time with us, and we hope to see you next time.